Yeah. Switch on your video.
ఉన్నది కదా అచ్చా వాడు గుసాయించండా
Yes, come, sir. So, welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello, and a warm welcome to our guest from Malawi. And we are sorry to say we are a bit late because of technical problems, as we could not connect
Yes.
to Africa, Malawi region.
and he's working for one.
And not only that, here also in Hyderabad, in India, the same problems we continue to suffer. The bandwidth at the start of the show, all of a sudden the bandwidth suffers. But at the same time, we are back now on live, and we have a wonderful guest in Richard Chazika. Is an environment and social safeguard
sir.
from Malawi, and then we have my guru, Professor B.V. Subbarao Garu. He is a environmentalist as well as a policy expert. So we are discussing today about climate change, risk preparedness, and sustainable interventions. I will ask Telangana people to remember Kaleshwaram. Keep that in their mind. Various in states, various other rivers also, and dams, you keep them in mind. But for you, the Kaleshwaram aspect. So let me give you a brief introduction of Mr. Richard.
Yes.
He comes from Malawi. He is an environmental and social safeguard specialist with over 5 years experience working in World Bank funded disaster resilience and recovery projects. Normally, bank funded projects have project implementation unit where all implementation activities are coordinated with government sectors as implementing stakeholders, and so have been placed in PIU of 2 projects with a primary assignment on policy development, project conflict resolutions, grievance redressal mechanisms. This is more important. My guru will explain you, because the show was getting late. He was thinking of taking this grievance redressal
Yeah.
mechanism. The projects,
I'm so sorry. Yes.
the projects
Yes.
range. Yeah. Let me complete your introduction,
We do not want to
Richard.
see- yeah,
Yes.
we do not want to see your laptop. We want to see your face. World want to see who is
Oh,
this
yes.
Richard is. Okay, and the presentation, you need not worry about it. My friend Dr. Shiv Prasad will take care of the presentation. Please,
Okay.
surface out. Okay, world want to see who is this Richard. Okay, you forget about your system.
You display your
Okay.
your face.
I think what I did.
You display your face.
Please display your face. Okay.
He holds a bachelor's degree in fisheries
Yes,
sciences.
actually-
Okay. Meanwhile, you
I'm
set
trying
up
to-
your, you set up your face. We will start the introduction of this topic because it's already we are
Yes.
already 40 minutes late, and we are actually practicing from an Indian time schedules to an African time schedules. I'm afraid if
Yes.
we still delay, we may go into geological time scales which are generally measured in million years. Okay, let us not go into geological
Yes.
times. Okay.
All right, Doc.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Just a quick question. Just a quick question. I have my mic on the left, and then there's a camera, and then there's something that says more, and then leave. So I want to come back to the video where I'm to the site where I'm going to be showing my face, because I think for Zoom it has been easier for me. I know how to do it, but with this one, I don't know. The camera came first before me showing my face. So how do I go about it?
What are the options you have?
I have my mic on the left,
Yeah.
and then there's a camera,
Now
and then
mic.
there's more.
Now listen to me. Now
The
camera is there.
on
No,
your
no, one
back.
thing. You are audible now. You click on the camera.
Okay.
Once you click on the camera, you will be visible. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yes.
He holds a bachelor's degree in
There you
Fisher
can see me.
Sciences, 3 online World
Yeah,
Bank
yeah. You know
certificates,
what
climate
the
mitigation,
point
gender in
is,
social development, and introduction to World
just-
Bank, environmental and social framework. Now here,
Yes.
Mr. Richard on your screen. Yeah, Mr. Richard, before you go,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Subbarao garu, kindly take over.
Yes, Richard, my another advice is, either you push your laptop a little forward so that your entire
Yes.
face will come. Otherwise, we are afraid of seeing only your eyes. Okay?
All right. Are you able to see me now?
Yeah, better. A bit
Okay,
better.
Yeah. Yes, now better. Now better.
Okay.
Welcome back.
All right.
Welcome back. Okay?
Thank you so
Welcome
much. Thank you so much.
back.
You go back a
Cool
bit,
down.
go back a
My
bit,
friend
go
will
back a
show
bit.
you.
Again, you came
Go
front.
back a bit. You also push your seat a little back.
Not your laptop.
Right there?
Yourself. Yeah.
That's fine.
A bit lower. You.
Actually, I'm using my phone.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
using my phone.
Yeah, phone. You can
Okay,
always
okay,
fix it up
okay.
properly. You just see that your half of the head is gone. Just bring it down.
Okay. How about that?
A bit now. From your eyes, see you just a bit down. Let me see your head also. Now you are
Yes.
trying to go. Yeah, a bit back now. A bit back. Go back in the same way. Go back. Yeah, it's okay.
Right there.
Yeah. Shall
Okay.
I put your PPT on?
Yes, that's okay. You can
Uh,
put.
Yeah, keep speaking. I will share your PPT.
Yeah, yeah, okay. We push one slide after the other. You can start your
Okay.
introduction of the subject. Okay. And my another request
Yes.
is make your voice little low.
My what?
No, Undani answer. Voice he needs.
Your voice little okay.
Voice,
Okay.
I think that's okay.
Now you can start.
Are you able to?
All right. All right. First,
Are you able to watch it on your screen?
no, I can't see it, but I think I can use my laptop because I'm seeing it on my laptop. It's in front of me.
It's fine. Nani.
Okay, you
No. Are you the screen? What do you find on the screen now, Richard?
No, you said you wanted to upload the PowerPoint.
I have already
But then
uploaded.
I can't access my PowerPoint. Okay, yes, that's it. That's it. Now I can see it.
Right. Now you look into your laptop and speak. No problem. Wherever you want. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. No, thank you so much for the opportunity, Dr. Suba and Professor. Basically, as you already said, I'm Richard Chazika from Malawi. I had a chance before to visit India in the year 2018 at FTRI, where I attended the Climate Change and Sustainable Development course. Reaching this far, by the time I was coming to India, I was already involved in projects, World Bank projects, as you mentioned, 2 of them. The other one was, the first one was a flood emergency recovery project. The other one was a drought resilience recovery project. So just to begin with, climate change, we all know is that it's one of the problems that is affecting our world today, especially even here in Africa, as well as in Asia. So the simple definition of climate change is like an atmospheric conditions due to increased heat brought by accumulation of greenhouse gases. We are talking about methane, nitrous oxide, which cause global warming, heating up the atmosphere, and of course affecting air, water, and land. But generally, when we're talking about climate change, can be caused in 2 dimensions. The first one can be human caused, the other one can be natural. So, but in this presentation, we are going to focus.
Are you there, Richard? Richard? What happened to you? Richard? Are you there, Richard? Richard, are you there?
అది camera was not
I don't know what's happening to him. Richard, are you there?
Are you able to hear me? I lost you.
Yeah, we are able to hear.
yes.
Okay. So where we're coming from, we are talking about the establishment of the IPCC in 1988 by the United Nations under the World Meteorological Organization, WMO, but of course the United Nations Environment Program. So basically the IPCC, the assignment is to provide government with scientific information for climate policy development to ensure climate change issues are tackled with evidence-based knowledge and understanding. So IPCC, mostly what they are doing is they produce what they call assessment reports within a period of 5 to 7 years. The first one was in 1990, and of course the latest is one that has been produced in the year 2022, I think around January. So what else? When the world was meeting to understand the impacts of the climate change, to understand the change in the climate conditions, which is bringing about all this climate change and of course the negative impacts that people are experiencing. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, was also established in Paris. That is under COP series. It was in December 2015. Of course, this is a legally binding international treaty on climate change, and it was effective from November 2016. It's a global commitment to limit global warming to well before, below 2 degrees Celsius. As we all know that temperatures are increasing due to this kind of the impacts that we are going through. So the temperature is increasing, the whole globe is getting heated up, and therefore we have to find ways to reduce the emissions so that we can reduce also the degrees that are increasing, that are affecting the world under the mitigation measures. So we have to bring down the temperatures to 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2030. And then, of course, the United Nations New York Summit held in 2015 adoption of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which we all know, which normally focus on climate action through education, innovation, and adherence to our commitments to protect our planet. Yeah, so something struck me as I was going through the current report, the new report by the IPCC, the assessment report that was produced in 2022. In one of the statements on the slide which says the 6th assessment report, I'm there. The second part.
Yes, Richard. Richard, yes.
Shiva,
Yeah. Yeah.
మీరు స్లైడ్స్ చేస్తూ ఉండండి, నేను చదివేస్తూ చెప్పు కథం చేసేస్తాను. ఓకే,
Right.
వాడు వచ్చినప్పుడు వాడు వచ్చి చెప్తూ ఉంటాడు ఆయన.
6th
ఎందుకంటే
assessment.
టెక్నికల్ గా అక్కడ చాలా ప్రాబ్లం అవుతున్నది.
Yeah. 6th assessment.
The sixth assessment report primarily focuses on human-induced climate change, including more frequent and intense extreme events. This was debated, almost 20 years since now, and the primary root cause for all the climate change is human-induced activities or anthropogenic activities. But interesting thing is where climate change is a reality. We have to accept this. Accepting the reality, we need to make changes in the area of planning, of implementation, operation, and maintenance of the existing projects. It could be a river irrigation project, or it could be a famine and drought-prone projects where we have to think of the soil moisture conservation. This is most important. The most important point that is being highlighted in this particular presentation is
2 billion people. That's how many have been affected by natural disasters in the past decade. Climate change has increased the frequency and intensity of disasters, but the past decade has also seen remarkable progress in our ability to prepare for and respond.
Yes. How do we respond? We have to respond very systematically and scientifically. And this systematic and scientific response needs to be integrated and mainstream in the area of public administration and public delivery services systems. And the first and the foremost important thing is the risk assessment. How do we identify a risk in the changing climatic conditions? Whether climate change, like the world is now divided, experiencing two different diversified impacts.
1 second, sir. Just trying to
South Asia.
2 billion people.
India.
That's how many have been affected by natural disasters in the past decade. Climate change has increased the frequency and intensity of disasters, but the past decade has also seen remarkable progress.
I'm trying to.
It is unnecessarily disturbing. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yeah. Then after sixth assessment report, then comes the impacts of climate change.
ఇక తీసేసేయండి అవన్నీ తీసేసి
వద్దాయి
నేను మాట్లాడేస్తున్నాను ఐ హావ్ గాన్ త్రూ దట్ అండ్ ఐ కెన్ స్పీక్
ఇక్కడ దీంట్లో వచ్చేస్తుంది సార్ ఇది ఒక చూపించేస్తాం
2 billion people. That's how many have been affected by natural disasters in the past decade. Climate change has increased the frequency and intensity of disasters, but the past decade has also seen remarkable progress in our ability to prepare for and respond to natural hazards. When the Indian Ocean tsunami struck, the scale of that tragedy changed the thinking around disasters. It highlighted the importance of managing disaster risk even before calamity strikes by increasing our understanding of disaster risk and reducing our exposure to this risk. Only a year after the tsunami, the Hyogo Framework for Action was adopted. It was the precursor to the 2015 Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, an international agreement that embedded disaster risk management in efforts to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The Indian Ocean tsunami also highlighted the need for countries across the globe to work more closely together. Amid complex and ever-changing disaster risk, the Global Facility for Disaster Reduction and Recovery was born in 2006. The global partnership helps developing countries better understand and reduce their vulnerability to natural hazards and climate change. Not long after, GFDRR brought the World Bank, the United Nations, and the European Union together to streamline efforts for post-crisis assessments and recovery planning. GFDRR has mobilized financial and technical assistance to scale up disaster risk management efforts, protecting lives in every corner of the globe. In fiscal year 2019 alone, GFDRR leveraged over $8 billion in additional financing for disaster risk management. These investments and GFDRR's analytical work are pushing disaster risk management to the forefront of the global development agenda, integrating it into a range of development sectors from social protection to infrastructure. GFDRR is also leading efforts to tackle the social and gender dimensions of disaster risk management, helping ensure that no one is left behind when disaster strikes. Innovation has further changed the way we understand and deal with risk. The response to the 2010 earthquake in Haiti cast the spotlight on the importance of new, inventive approaches. For example, volunteers used crowdsourcing to produce the first free, open, and accurate map of Port-au-Prince, supporting its recovery. The Understanding Risk Forum, first held in 2010, and the Open Data for Resilience initiative, started a year later, remain on the front lines of the global effort to share, collect, and use data for resilience. Technological advances have also led to great improvements in weather forecasting systems. Since 2015, the Climate Risk and Early Warning Systems Initiative has mobilized support for early warning systems in disaster-vulnerable countries. The last decade has also seen the rise of innovative financial strategies that are helping countries meet the staggering costs of disasters. The Global Risk Financing Facility, launched in 2018, ensures that countries have the resources they need to act fast and get back on their feet when disaster strikes. The integration of disaster risk management in the global development agenda. The rise of partnerships like GFDRR. The emergence of innovative technologies and approaches. While there is much work to be done, the progress of the past decade has moved us closer to a safer, more resilient world. In over 140 countries, GFDRR has helped shape part of that. Our work to bring resilience to scale continues.
Subbar over here,
Thank you.
how is that?
Yeah, thank you.
How is that our own Telangana, such a big dam, how is that they have not taken cognizance of this disaster management, Subaravar? That beats my intelligence. See, they have shown over the period of time how the evolution has taken place. With such an available technology, it has simplified everything. Don't you think this disaster, not just disaster, killing people or destroying the crops of farmers, much more it's precious money of the people, and the purpose for which these dams have been constructed, they're not at all serving. This Kaleshwaram Dam. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a very important. The first thing is, today we have the guest Richard from Malawi. Hope you are hearing me, Richard. Are you able to hear me, Richard? And now unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Unmute your. Unmute your.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
In the climate change, the most important thing is knowledge exchange. Yes.
That's right.
You are working. Yeah, you are working in a drought area, a famine area, and we are working in. Actually, ours is also a drought area, but today it has become a flood affected. Okay.
That's right.
And I would like you to highlight what helped you in identifying the risks before starting the project.
Okay. I think if you heard me in the first place, I mentioned earlier on that for the past years, Malawi has not been hit by disasters a lot. We are hearing about cyclones now because me growing up, I had never seen a cyclone before. Mm-hmm. Even the intensity of the floods that we are having now is different from the way it was in the past. Mm-hmm. But then the projects that were started in 2015 were a response to the floods.
Mm-hmm.
I think in between he's having some problems with his audio.
Okay. The most important thing, is our entire effort, this channel.
Yes,
Yeah.
are you able to hear me?
I think they,
Yeah, we are
Yes.
able to hear you. Go
We
ahead.
are able
So-
to hear you.
Yes, so what happened was, I think that time I remember I was in school, I was still pursuing my bachelor's. It was in 2015. I was I think in fourth year, third year. So we had rains, we had heavy rains for 21 days consecutive. Every day we had rain. So in the midst of that rain, we experienced the most dangerous floods that the country had never seen before. After the flood, now the HDF-BVSR, the World Bank, the United Nations, the European Union, and the government of Malawi, including the sectors, they had to go on the ground and do what we call a post-disaster needs assessment to identify how much damage the flood had caused. That's what gave birth to the flood emergency recovery project.
No. My question is actually,
Yes.
even in this project, the government of Malawi and World Bank officials stepped into
Yes.
the field after disaster happened. Yes.
That's right.
No, my question is, when we look into Sendai framework,
That's it.
framework says, right in the planning of a project, we need to identify the probable risks. Yes or no?
That's true.
That is true. Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
So the risk indicators have to be identified right in the beginning of the project, not after a calamity. Yes.
Yes, that's true.
So can you throw some light on this aspect of it?
Right.
Why we are failing time and again? Okay.
Mhm.
One thing I strongly believe, the traditional communities in Asia and Africa, also in South America, they have a
That's
great
right.
traditional knowledge. Yes.
That's right.
And engineering systems have developed only, say, last 50 or 60 years in Africa, South America, okay? And India also.
That's it.
Modern engineering. And the records what we have on floods is only 100 years record. Yes or no?
That's right.
And Africa and Asia experienced heavy floods even before 100 years.
That's it. Because Malawi, I think for now we have experienced over 20 by to date.
Uh-huh.
Yes, 20 disasters.
20 disasters of what
Yeah, so far.
span? 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. The question is all over the world. Though IPCC is time and again, cautioning on identification of the risk indicators in any conceived development project, and to strengthen this philosophy, it's not the philosophy but practicality, integrating and mainstreaming in the projects. Sendai framework came in 2015 along with parallelly with the sustainable development goals. Sendai framework and sustainable development goals have same deadline of 2030. And even in the year 2022, a place like Telangana in India, it faces a flood threat, and Malawi in Africa also faces the threat, and the concerned officials working at any given level are only visiting and identifying the risk after the calamity happened. This is the biggest drawback and lacuna in the entire world system, and we need to rectify it. And for Telangana, even this week, we are expecting heavy floods and heavy flows. And as usual, the social media YouTube runs that some foreign country is doing this and that. I do not know how much money the foreign country, whichever is doing it, is investing on creating famine droughts in Europe and floods in India, which is a ridiculous, propaganda. What I say, to shy away from the responsibilities. It could be bureaucrats, it could be elected politicians. They are just withdrawing from their responsibilities, and including the scientific community. What I feel today, this is what I feel, Dr. Shivaprasad Garu,
Yes.
and this is most important thing. The third aspect, today my friend Richard came out with a very good framework of climate change risk preparedness and sustainable interventions. Let us take the example of Kaleshwaram itself. There is no white paper on what kind of a damage happened, and we have not identified the damages. We have not prioritized the damages, and people only talk of what is called the motors, the Bahubali motors, and it now costs 300 crores. From 25 crores, when Principal Secretary announced it, it has now gone to 300 crores, and now they are negotiating with an Australian company to replace all these things. The first and the foremost thing is, what are the identified risks in this project? How you have prioritized them? How you are going to minimize this risk in the future? And the second risk, what time and again we find in the media, is on the siltation at the barrage areas. It is almost, some say it is around 3 feet, 4 feet, some say it is more than 3 meters. We do not know anything. Government reports have not come. Central government teams which generally carry out all the flood impact studies, I do not know what they are doing.
They are missing.
This, yeah, we are missing them.
They are missing.
There is no public consultation. There is no public consultation. Whoever we are talking and raising these issues in the interest of the state and the people and the economy and sustainability, they are saying people who do not have any work, they are coming out and talking like this. Come on.
ఇక్కడ కూడా సుబ్బారావు గారు,
Come on for an open debate.
there is another point,
Please,
Subbarao
sir.
ji, there is another point, Mr. Richard. This dam risk preparedness, where is the feasible study or a detailed project report? Now this is the second year.
Yeah.
Last year too, during
Yeah.
monsoon, when this dam is supposed to store water and then mitigate flood. Those are the two main aspects of this dam. But this project has failed in both. Last year, they have not learned lessons. The monsoon has gone. That's why we have demanded how much water you have lifted and stored and has been utilized, and how well you could mitigate the floods. And this time you have seen, because of the unpreparedness, not learning from last year, the entire those pumps have sunk into the water, wherein they were supposed to lift the water, but the pumps motors have come under the water. So the project is under the water. Then what is the fun of it? Now, even now, central government, I'm very sorry, when state government is trying to play hide and seek with the public utility and public money, I'm very sorry to say the central government headed by Modi, Jal Shakti Ministry, what are they doing? What happened to Central Water Commission? Where are they? Such a huge loss, and they are just trying to divert the issue with some communal issues. How do you look at this scenario?
Yeah, Dr. Shivaprasad, one thing I understood is most of institutions, it could be Zika, it could be IMF, it could be World Bank, their reports are beautiful and sounds very good scientific approach. But the thing is, all these financial institutions which lend money, they have very little, they claim that they have very little role in implementation of it. So what is happening is, in the case of Hussain Sagar, Zika gave 300 and odd crores rupees, and every year government is spending 5 crores on that. In spite of all this, was of Hussain Sagar on the aquatic life, status of aquatic life. How many species are there and what kind of species are there, and what is the health status of those species? We do not have anything. And Zika is collecting its annual interest from the state government. And state governments are not worried about it. And today I came across in a regional paper saying that Kaleshwaram tax will start now. Because Kaleshwaram is certainly not going to generate any revenue. Because with all these efforts, okay, the grain output has increased, but who is buying them? Who is helping in marketing the grain produced in Telangana? Neither the state government nor the central government. So we have to look into all this, particularly in the view of international funding and also the local funding. NABARD also has equal responsibility.
SBI too, sir.
I think
SBI
somebody
too.
should.
NABARD and SBI, even SBI I am told they are funded, but these are all public money deposit banks. NABARD, they are not private
Yes.
banks.
Yes.
So they are again investing public money without any transparency. Both SBI and NABARD are responsible now. And how can they collect tax
Yes.
on the Kaleshwaram tax from people? Who asked them to construct such a huge project? The project budget has doubled, tripled. Now what is the purpose? Is it serving any purpose? How many acres of land it is irrigating? What is the produce? Is it producing electricity from hydroelectricity? Is it serving drinking water purposes? Water to industry?
have to,
There should be a white paper, no
this
sir.
is
How
not-
can they blindly, sir? There should be a white paper because of enormous floods already. The small rivulets or tanks, they are getting filled on their own. And even last monsoon, this Kaleshwaram dam is in waters. The backwater from Yellampalli, it has inundated the Medigatta, this thing. This is downstream to Yellampalli. So already if Yellampalli is filled, so the entire water is coming back. Then when did they lift and where did they lift? Where did the water go? They have to show that. There should be a proof, na sir. It's public money.
Yeah, I think this we need to, this topic is such a vital topic, and what I suggest is we need to, review all the projects across the state and across the country on their sustainability and how we can manage this, and the role of financial institutions. You see, even if you look into the Kakatiya mission, I think NABARD has funded for some 4,000 crores or something like that. And I have not come across any report. And, ICRISAT was given assignment to carry out and do the studies on Kakatiya mission impact. I have not come across even that report. This is most important thing is now for the same irrigation structures, small and medium irrigation structures, which have their own catchments, their own hydrological
But not
regimes.
only that, sir. Not
Now
only that.
are
Subbarao garu, I'm sorry to interrupt you. The same BJP's national president Nadda, who is visiting Telangana, in 2020, he stated out of 85,000 spent, 40,000 crore corruption has taken place, and he directly referred to the chief minister of the state. How do you look at now? It has gone to 1,20,000 crores. Now who is going to bear this money? Then why central government is keeping quiet? Now they have bought a new policy, linking of rivers. You mean to say now they have understood how can parties be funded by these construction companies? Now you mean to say they are going to learn major lessons out of this only to make money out of such named projects, without projects providing water storage, without projects allowing flood mitigation or generating electricity or supplying for drinking or other purposes. So is that the reason why
See,
central government is keeping quiet?
Primarily, we have to evaluate, the very purpose and objective of these projects for which we have invested so much money. Are they delivering it? And even if they are delivering, to what extent? Is it 5% delivery or 10% delivery? We do not know. There is no evaluation report. Before we continue, I thank Richard for sparing time and trying to join us because of the technical problems and the network problems.
I'll try to.
Between
I'll try
India
to.
and Malawi.
I'll just try to fastly push through.
And then, okay, you push through, but I'm thanking Richard,
Yeah.
and hopefully we will again invite him on some other day, and for that I will speak to him. And now I request you to just show the PowerPoint presentation which Richard shared with us. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm just showing that.
Prasad, you can go ahead.
Yeah, 5 minutes, sir. We'll wind up. Just I'll finish off.
No, you can show that. Okay.
Yeah.
Those PPT.
Richard is not there, I think.
No, he left. That's the reason, I'm just thanking him because of the technical problems and all. We can understand it, and we will try to again connect. And PowerPoint presentation he shared with us is available with the channel. Those who are interested can join us. And we are requesting all the people who are involved in the natural resources management and ecology and economics, environment and economics, water and economics, all those, you name it. Universities have produced, several thousands, lakhs of people on this with PhDs and all. I do not know why they are keeping so silent. My dear youngsters, you are being funded with public money. Okay? Even the private universities received the public money for investments. It is
Sir,
not that
sir, on your screen,
grandfather's money is invested.
sir, on your screen, this is how a feasible study report should be there before constructing any dam. Malawi's floods, droughts and cyclone profile. We are asking the Honorable Chief Minister and also Jal Shakti Union Jal Shakti Ministry, including PM.
I'm not able to see that actually. It's not visible to the viewers.
Sure.
What I will do is, I think we will have the same subject on some other day, and we will try to clear all these bottlenecks.
Yeah.
And we will not test the patience of the viewers. Okay.
I know,
Hope you understand.
Yeah, I know. We'll just wind up now. Sorry for the technical reasons. We are just trying to wind up now. But all said and done, the project should serve a purpose. Otherwise, they are of no use. The public money will go waste and it will end up in corruption, funding these political parties, and they in turn entice innocent voters or gullible voters at the cost of democracy. So, people have to understand it's our money. It should be spent in a transparent and accountable way. People have a right to demand. Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.